Hi, everybody. I am here to help you understand this week's daily geography, which is week 17. And you will be looking at and trying to understand what we call a physical map of Mexico. There's some vocabulary that you're going to want to be familiar with, so I've added it to our slideshow so you know what to look for in case you get stuck and you need some help. Words like peninsula, land area that is surrounded by water on three sides, like the state of Florida. Physical map is simply a map that shows all those natural landforms from Mother Nature, mountains, deserts, peninsulas, and of course, waterways that are on our surface. You might see plateaus, which are areas of high flat land in between mountains, and of course, there's my little pointer right there. Of course, Mexico is home to several mountain ranges. So let's take a look at some of these landforms here on this slide. Mexico is located in one of the most geologically active regions in our world. And because of this, it has a lot of different landforms that we're not very familiar with seeing here in Ohio. There are three mountain ranges. They call their mountain ranges Sierra Madre. And if you've ever heard of anyone saying Madre or even Padre, that is Spanish. So Madre is Spanish for mother. So Sierra Madre means mother range. And they have three mountain ranges that we will talk about. There's also another area of Mexico. It's called the Central Mexican Plateau. And it's this higher land here that's kind of smushed in between the mountains. Kind of reminds me of the cream inside an Oreo cookie. Also in Mexico, if you were to take a drive around, you would come over to this section here, and this is the flatlands. This is their jungle. This is their rainforest. And this is the Yucatan Peninsula, which is also where our Mayan friends lived years ago. They also have tropical rainforests right down here to the south. So taking a look at your map this week, there's nothing for you to read. There's no words that are going to help you. It's more or less you taking a look at this legend and seeing if you can identify where their deserts are, the striped diagonal lines for the major mountain ranges, where the highest peak is located, as well as their major rivers. So earlier I mentioned something about Sierra Madre. So if you look right here, this is one of their mother mountain ranges. This one is called the Occidental, and it stretches all the way up to the north, almost to this line here, which, if you are looking, this is the United States in this space right here. The other Sierra Madre mountain range, oh, sorry about that. Let me go back a slide, is right here. This is your Sierra Madre, and then this one's called the Oriental. And this one is their east coast. And then they have this set of mountains called the Sierra Madre del Sur. Takes a little bit of a break, and then the mountains continue right here. Not only do they have mountains, they also have two really large deserts. This one is called the Chihuahuan Desert. It forms a border with Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. And then if you go to the west, they have the Sonoran Desert. It actually comes up and over here by Arizona and California. And then this little peninsula stretches all the way down south of California, and that's also a part of the Sonoran Desert. They also have gulfs like the Gulf of Mexico, but this one is the Gulf of California. So this little space here makes a peninsula, as well as over here in the Yucatan, this makes a peninsula as well. Waterways dominate Mexico. So I want you to notice not just these gulfs, but they also have a bay. Sorry about that popping up on you guys. The bay at the bottom is this area here, and they have a gulf as well. And they also have what else I want to tell you? Oh, an area known as their plains, kind of like we have plains in the middle of our country. They also have plains. It's kind of like this interior space right here. And then this coastal plain kind of runs up here. I've also included this week some videos for you to learn more about the physical features of Mexico, some things that I might not be able to explain to you. And then this acts as a really good resource if you get stuck. On this next slide, monarch butterflies love to head to Mexico every year. It's kind of a cool video to see. They go to the mountains actually in Mexico, and then here soon they'll be migrating back. So I talked to you a little bit about this idea of a plateau. It's their most extensive geographical features. So this is where most of the people are going to be living in this middle area because there's mountains. The Sierra Madres are on either side. This is where you're going to find Mexico City. Lots of agriculture, lots of farming are happening in their plateau, lots of industry and mining, mineral wealth. It's kind of shaped like a triangle. Its base can be found along our United States border, and then it goes all the way to the south beyond Mexico City. If you were to go to Mexico, you would notice that the northern part of their country is very dry because of the deserts, and it requires a lot of irrigation for farming. And it's what we call sparsely populated, meaning not a lot of people live there. Then the plateau will rise as you move south towards the middle of Mexico, which I mentioned is the heartland of their country. Well watered, great fertile soil for growing crops, and very crowded and populated. Love this little cartoon of Mexico. Just kind of shows you where those mountains are and some fun little icons to take a peek at. On this slide here, this is Cancun. I had the opportunity to go to Cancun years ago, and there's a little video clip for you to see, but their beaches are absolutely fantastic. It would be nice to go to the beach at this time of year and take a vacation for spring break, but apparently we're not. Here's another city in Mexico, very big tourist destination. And along the bottom of this slide, you're going to see 5 different top tourist destinations. So if you ever hear family members or relatives or friends heading to Mexico, chances are they're going to one of these 5 places. Very big with the Spanish language, but the best time to go is in the winter. And if you get stuck and you're not really sure about physical features, landforms, this little organizer is here to help you understand it. And then lastly, we will be talking about the pyramids that are in Mexico, and they're actually still standing today for tourists to go look and take pictures and experience the Mayan culture firsthand. So feel free to watch this video. As you work through Edulastic and daily geography, feel free to work ahead if you feel you would like to, or just keep up the pace and just answer 2 questions each day. But let me encourage you to keep reviewing the map. And if you get stuck, take a look at this video or other resources. Thanks, guys, and good luck learning about the physical features of Mexico.